Hey y'all, it's Jen, and today I have a tag video for you. This is the Wonder Woman book tag done by Amber from Amber's Books and More, and I will link the original video down below. This was one that I was tagged in by Amber, so let's dive into this. Number one is Wonder Woman, your favorite badass female book character. For me, this will always be Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins, and I just really like her progression throughout the first book to the end book. She goes through a lot of different trials and tribulations, and in both the arena with the games and also in her personal life, and I just really like the growth that she is shown to have throughout the series, and her compassion that she never really loses, even though there are some horrible scenarios that she is put through. So Katniss Everdeen. Number two is Fantasy Island, a book setting you would like to escape to. And for me, I think I would really enjoy being part of the School for Good and Evil by Soman Chinani. It sounds like a kind of a fun place to be. You can either be a fairy princess or you can be an evil witch or warlock. So it just sounds fun. It just sounds like a fun place to be, even though it's probably not all that great, and you know, you've got the good versus evil thing going on, but they're kind of kids. It's in a fairy tale. And maybe I would either be a princess and my Prince Charming could keep the evil away, or I could be the evil side vying after the prince and princess to kill them. Number three is London, a hyped book that really let you down. And for me, this was Your Welcome Universe by Whitney Gardner. It wasn't a bad book, but with the content that this is, I just had way higher expectations, especially based on all the hype. Everybody was giving this 5-star reviews and talking about how wonderful it was, and I was just really let down by that. Number four is Steve Trevor, and this is a book that has a beautiful cover and a great story, or in other words, a great personality. And for me, that book is Magonia by Maria Davina Headley. This is a book that I went into knowing nothing about, and I walked past this book multiple times in the bookstore, picked it up, carried it around. I was just drawn to that beautiful cover, and it did not disappoint me. I really enjoyed the story too. It was a book that I had never read anything like it before, and I just thought it was a good story as well, and it had such a beautiful cover. Number five is The Lasso of Truth, and this is a book that you hated. This would be Paper Towns by John Green. It was such a disappointment to me. I hated everything about this book. I wanted to love this book. I saw the movie previews when I was there for a different movie, but I thought it looked so good, and I wanted to read the story first before I saw the movie, and I hated the book. I hated it to the point that I've never even watched the movie since then. So number six is Wonder Woman Shield, and this is a book so sad that you needed a shield for. This is a book that I just finished, and that is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I knew going into this book that the story of Finch and Violet was sad. I knew that it was based on tragedy. And that's kind of what brought them together to begin with. They were both standing on the ledge of the bell tower when this book opens up, contemplating suicide. So just knowing that, I knew that it was going to be a difficult read and it was going to have some tough subjects in it. But I had no idea. I was listening to this on audio and I ended up finishing this book at 2 o'clock in the morning. And for the last hour and a half that I was listening to this book, I was sobbing so hard. We're talking ugly, hysterical crying. If I had been reading the actual book, I wouldn't have been able to finish it because I wouldn't have been able to see the pages. I was crying so hard. And it actually left me with that feeling of despair for several hours after I finished this book. And again, I finished it at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was a long night. Definitely need Wonder Woman shields for this book. Number 7 is No Man's Land. This is a book that you want to send to no man's land, or in other words, you want to shoot it to death. That would be The Accident Season by Gloria Fowley Doyle. I hated this book. I gave it 1 star. It made me so very angry that there was no reason for this story to be portrayed the way it was. It used a trope that I thought was senseless, and I hated it. Everything about it. It just made me so angry. I wanted to shoot it. Number 8 is Ares, and this is a villain that is scary, but you just can't seem to hate him. And that villain for me is the Darkling from the Grishaverse by Lee Bardugo. The Darkling is scary. He is badass. And I still just can't hate him. He is one of those characters that you can understand why he does the things he does, even though they're pretty horrible. So, I'm kind of fascinated by him. But, he is scary, so I don't think I would want to come up against him or get on his bad side. Number 9 is Dr. Poison, and this is a villain that has no reason to exist. And honestly, I could not think of a book for this one, or a villain for this category. So far, all of the books that I've read, I think the villains in them had a reason to exist. So, I'm going to skip that one. I'm sorry. Number 10 is The Amazons. And this is a book that you wish had more or better LGBTQIA plus representation. And really for me, I'm going to go with an entire series of books. And that is the Dark Hunter series by Sherilyn Kenyon. This is a fantasy world that has such great potential to have a main love interest that is not a heterosexual couple. And I don't know why this hasn't been done already, but to my knowledge, there is no characters in the first 14 books that I've read that would fit this category. I can't think of any representation for any queer characters. So she definitely has a lot that she could be done with this series and these characters, and I hope that one day that to see some of those. Number 11 is the Justice League. What superhero book friends are you going to tag? And I am not tagging anybody because I think that all of my superhero book friends have been tagged already in other videos. So, if you have not been tagged and you are watching this video, then you are one of my superhero book buddies, and I would like for you to do this. So I am tagging you in this. that wraps it up for my Wonder Woman book tag. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure and give me a thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, bye.